guys, one question I get asked all the time on my YouTube channel is how I change my iPad's music pages without touching it and without using some kind of obvious pedal or accessory or something like that. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. Basically, I'm using an application called ForScore, which is such a good application for storing and dealing with your sheet music library. It's so good that it justifies the price of an iPad by itself, in my opinion. And the iPad combination of ForScore is such a time saver for me in my professional situation that I would pay a lot more if I needed to in order to get this technology and get this application. It is amazing. But even in addition to all of the conveniences of ForScore, there is a feature that you can pay a very inexpensive subscription price for that allows you to use facial tracking. And that lets you turn the pages with a head turn like this or a mouth movement like that, which is actually what I use. If you look at any of my YouTube videos where I'm playing from my iPad and I've got more than one page that I need to play from, if you look carefully, the way that I'm changing those pages, you'll see is I just move my mouth just a little bit, and it works. And when I tell people this, they often don't believe me. So I'm making a video where I can demonstrate the feature for you to prove that it's totally a thing and to prove how amazing it is. So with that said, let me switch my camera over to the iPad. I have a little paragraph about it pulled up here. This is on the ForSore Pro page where you can read a little bit about it. So it says if your device supports face tracking, you can use facial gestures to turn pages either by turning your head or moving your lips to the left or right. Now, you could, the head turning is very, very comfortable and very intuitive and easy to use, but it doesn't work in my situation because I work with a music director when I am playing on the organ at church. And so I have to move my head a lot to look at her, which would then trigger the page turn. So I don't want to do that. So I use the mouth movement. And the mouth movement is much less intuitive. I had to practice really hard and really long in order to normalize that motion. But I've been doing it for years, and I've been doing it in a public setting for years. You can't see it from like more than 10 feet away. It's very subtle. And it is a life changer because, it is a game changer for me because I don't have to have a page turner. And for like any long piece, I don't have to memorize my music. I don't have to post my music all over the music desk or deal with any of the inconveniences of that. This is an awesome feature. You have to have a specific kind of iPad in order to make this work. It's got to have, I think, the TrueDepth camera, which I believe all the iPad Pros from 2018 on have that. Maybe it's earlier, I don't remember, but some of the other iPads, like the newer iPad Airs, might have this camera as well. So you'll have to look into it a little bit if you're interested. But if you haven't used the tablet before and you're interested, you should totally get an iPad that has this camera so that you can use this and store your music library that way. It's seriously cool. By the way, I'll make another video where I go into some of the details on ForScore later. Right now, I'm just going to show you how the facial recognition thing works, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a piece of sheet music, and this is the landscape view. This is not the view that I use, but I would just show you for completeness sake. Here's what it looks like if I engage the little feature. See how it scrolls down like that? Now it's at the end of the page, and it changes pages, right? Now I don't actually play it like this because it tends to break up the page in a non-logical sort of way. So this is how I actually use it, which might make it a little harder to see on the video, and I'm sorry about that, but you know, when I'm using it, it's like the size of a normal piece of sheet music paper, so it's very, very convenient. So I'm going to demonstrate this, and I haven't played this piece in a while, but so bear with the mistakes, but I'm going to use the page turning feature to show you basically how I would actually play here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by the little red line here and towards the end of this page. Oh, I forgot to tell you what this piece was. It's the Brahms Intermezzo number 2. So here's what it sounds like in the beginning. Okay, it's a very nice piece. I really like it. All right, so here's towards the bottom of the page. That's not a big deal at all, although it takes a little bit to learn how to do that and make it normal, but it totally works after a while. Here's another example. I'm going to start the pickup to the bottom line here. So that's a little bit of how this feature works. It is an amazing feature. I really enjoy using it. It's pretty reliable, but the light needs to be pretty good on you, and you need to be pretty centered with the iPad. If I move it over here, it's probably not going to work always. Also, you can adjust the sensitivity of it. I'll show you what that would look like. You go into Settings, ForScore Pro, Face Gestures. In here, you can see that I've got the mouth movement mode selected. The other option is a head turn. And you have sensitivity. And basically, I'm not going to change any of my settings because I have them just as I need them. But you can turn your head or move your mouth or whatever. And these little dots go left and right to show you how strong that gesture is. And so you basically, in my opinion, you want to get it to where you're not going to accidentally trigger it. This means that sometimes I have to do the gesture a few times in a row in order to get it to trigger. But I usually will memorize the part after my page turn anyway, and I'll usually try to start turning the page a few measures early, just like you would in a real page turning situation. But I am completely hands-free. I store all of my music in here. I store all of the extra pieces that I'm playing for Mass that are not in like a hymnal or some book or whatever. I'm storing them in here. And I'm using this feature to turn my pages and navigate it, and it's really been a massive time saver and frustration saver. And I highly recommend this feature. So anyway, in another video, I will get into the particulars of ForScore. I'll talk about it in a little bit more detail. And I hope that you found this video very helpful. If you are an iPad user and you didn't know about this facial tracking feature, like seriously, turn it on and start using it and get practice with it, because if you use the iPad for ForScore, this just increases the convenience so much. It is so amazing. Anyway, hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.